Oya ntabwo nzacyo ntitwigeze tuvuga ngo izamara imyaka 5 ahubwo abantu uzabiburaye bose baratubwira ngo bizagira ryari bizarangira ryari.
We never said the transitional period would last for 5 years. It was people who kept asking us when it would end, and we told them that it would end when Rwandans felt secure. You can't tell people to go and cast their votes when they are not sure about their safety. That is why in 1998 the meetings at Village Urugwiro began, bringing together politicians, both veterans and current ones at the time, university lecturers, doctors and others who were invited to the meetings. The meetings continued until June 1999. The talks focused on how we would exit the transitional period, and those elections that would later take place were also discussed. The reason additional years became necessary is because the people who were drawing up the country's constitution were required to ask the general public for its input, and that took another 3 years before the constitution was finalized, and after that the elections were held. Then came new positions that never existed before in Rwanda, positions like the Auditor General and the Ombudsperson, as well as in finance. All the positions were also revised, and Gacaca courts also started operating. The country's economy began to be transformed. More schools were built, poverty levels dropped, with poor people reducing from 67 to 36%, and those in extreme poverty now no higher than in the teens. Rwanda is now respected globally, and Rwandans are appreciated, not like before when we went abroad, all people did was associate us with genocide. Now people commend us and our president Paul Kagame.
Ahagiye n'ubu nuko mutabizi twe twagendaga mbere wavuga kuri umunyarwanda bati babandi bakora genocide ndetse ntibabe bagwaho ijambo, ariko ubu ngubu aho ugiye bagenda bakwashya yari umunyarwanda na president wanyu Kagame muri abakozi muremeze neza.
Ariko abanyarwanda twishize hamwe twese, aba mama batanga ibitenge byabo urabyibuka, buri umwe atanga contribution.
Rwandans came together and contributed to make the elections possible, and they were held in transparency and security. As for the tears of the white people, you must understand that they had invested a lot to see Twagiramungu and Nainzira win, but reality turned out different. We should thank God that people chose right and voted for President Paul Kagame. There is a reason they voted for him. Because after the RPF halted the genocide against the Tutsi and gave a vision to build up the country and promote unity and reconciliation among Rwandans, ensuring development for all, people understood that it was not just words, that he follows through on what he says he will do, and that is why they continued voting for him and asked that Article 101 of the Constitution be amended. In 2003, I was a parliamentarian, part of the Standing Committee on National Budget and Patrimony. The country's budget was no more than 400 billion Rwandan francs, and now it has grown to close to 4 trillion. Most of that money comes from the taxes Rwandans pay. Before the genocide against the Tutsi, Rwandans did not pay taxes because many did not feel the country belonged to them, and now they finance close to 70% of their own budget. You understand what that means.
Ari imisoro y'abanyarwanda urumva icyo ibyo bisobanura.
Ikindi ntajya nibagirwa nyine n'amagambo abaturage babaga bakubwira igituma bazamutora, abari nabo bakakubwira impamvu batazamutora. Hari umusaza watubwiye ati ntabwo namutora kuko yavuze ngo ntitugakubita abagore.
I will never forget the reasons people were giving for planning to vote for him or against him. One old man told me he would not vote for him because he was stopping men from beating their wives. By saying that, he didn't realize that he was actually making him even more popular because there are more female voters than men. There were many factors, and remember that it was the first time people had seen more than one candidate standing for the presidency since the country was granted independence. Over the last 18 years, so much progress has been made in all sectors. I believe those years are the ones that gave us a fixed approach as to how to take on long-term development, and the results are clear to see. Of course, not everything is done as it should be, but that is not because there is something wrong with the projects themselves rather than the people supposed to implement them. Some people may not have the integrity or hard work to implement some of those programs, but without a doubt, anyone willing to do what is right has the mechanism, laws and guidance in place to do it.
Ikigaragara ubu ngubu ushaka gukora wese afite inzira yakoreramo, afite mechanism, afite amategeko, afite n'umurongo.